Hey there, fight fans! Dana White has announced a brand new fight for the UFC 300 card.
All right, guys, here's another announcement for UFC 300. Holm. She was inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame in 2022. In the history of the women's bantamweight division, she is tied for 4th most wins, 6th most significant strikes landed, and has the 4th best takedown defense at 78%. Holm is one of the baddest women to ever compete in combat sports, ever. She's fought all the nastiest women in the world in boxing and in MMA, except for one. Holly will be taking on the only person in U.S. history to win back-to-back Olympic gold medals in judo. The UFC has officially signed Kayla Harrison. Kayla's 16-1 with 12 finishes. Her takedowns, her ground and pound are nasty, and this will be the first time she will be competing at bantamweight. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That fight is also at UFC 300. See you soon.
Now, women's mixed martial arts may not have been around as long as men's, but Kayla Harrison is truly one of the iconic fighters for the UFC. The only question is this, and at the same time, the main intrigue: how will Kayla Harrison fit into the bantamweight division, where a fight with Holm should be taking place? In the PFL, Kayla competed in lightweight, which is up to 70 kilograms, and in judo, she even fought in weight up to 78 kilograms. Now she faces a difficult decision: the move to go down to the bantamweight division, which is currently at 61 kilograms. Not even a featherweight, which was closed in the UFC, so it's hard to imagine how Harrison will make the cut, but a move to the UFC seems like the right thing to do.
I'll tell you what, this card is it's a solid card.
It's a weak pay-per-view, Joe.
But it's nothing compared to that Miami card. And that Miami card's nuts.
It's better than 300. And
Yeah.
300,
Yeah.
people want to hate on 300. 300's
300's not done. 300's not done.
No, I
yet.
know. They got 2 more big fights coming.
There's a couple big ones that
Yeah.
are lining up for 300.
2 real
If
big
they
ones.
come together, it's going to be amazing.
Do you know who it is? But you can't say anything?
I know a little something.
It'd be cool if you could press like a mute button.
I know. I do have a
You
mute
can.
button.
Cough
Like
button.
homie button. It's like the homie button.
I can tell you some shit.
Yeah, but the other guys are
I know.
It would be like you had to kill all the mics. Kill like one, like a big red button. Boom.
That'd be cool.
Right? Homie button.
The big one was they were trying to get Connor, but he's not going to be ready by then.
No, he's fighting international fight. We've got 85.
That's a big one. That 85 is crazy. That's crazy.
It just shows you he doesn't want to cut weight, doesn't care about belts.
Now, Paulo Costa appears to be in incredible shape leading up to his UFC 298 fight against Robert Whittaker. He recently posted a photo and wrote, "This dude must be on juice." Now, as you know, Costa and Whittaker are scheduled to face each other on February 17th. The main event for UFC 298 will also feature a featherweight title fight between champion Alexander Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria. But Robert Whittaker wants a rematch with DDP and avenge his loss.
view, because he beat me before and I want that rematch. I want to rematch him. Obviously, that's not what I'm thinking about at the moment. I want to fight Costa, but Dricus is on a list of people I want to rematch. But seeing that fight from him, it made me realize that I did not prepare adequately for him. I did not give him the respect he deserves. I understand he was a hard and tough fighter, but I don't think I understood how tough and strong and hungry he really was.
Yeah.
And, respect to that. I won't make that mistake again.
Now, as for Dricus du Plessis, he wants to fight Israel Adesanya. And if the new UFC champion gets his first title defense against Adesanya, he may not be the favorite in that fight. Currently, the odds for Adesanya to win are 1.8, while du Plessis' success is estimated at 2.15. Now, bookies have published starting odds after du Plessis took the championship belt from Sean Strickland last weekend at UFC 297 in Toronto, defeating Strickland by a split decision. After which, he did challenge Adesanya, who agreed to the fight. Now, presumably, the middleweight title fight between Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya could be part of the UFC 300 event, which will be taking place on April 13th in Las Vegas. But this has yet to be decided. Israel Adesanya has not entered the octagon since September of last year, when he sensationally lost his belt to Sean Strickland by unanimous decision.
I hope you are listening to this because you have an opportunity to become champ. You know, when you have the belt, you have the opportunity to say, okay, what is it that I actually want to fight? Because remember, before you get stripped, you have X amount of time before you actually do that. I say you make Israel Adesanya maybe fight somebody before he actually fights you, and actually take the fight that really matters more for your accolades, and his name is Alex Pereira. And if you get a victory over a guy like Alex Pereira, you know what that guarantees you? That guarantees you a title shot at 205 pounds. Why do I say that? Why do I say pick Alex Pereira? You know why? Because Israel Adesanya will always be there.
Interim UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall claims that the organization's management invited him to take part in the UFC 300 event and defend his title against Stipe Miocic. While we were talking about Stipe Miocic, the UFC contacted my manager and asked if I wanted to fight him on April 13th. I, of course, agreed, he posted on social media. A little later, we were informed that Stipe did not want to fight me and was only interested in a fight with Jon Jones. On that note, I will stop crying, accept that it ain't gonna happen, and enjoy the fight that me and all the other fans want to see. Legend versus legend for the heavyweight title, posted Aspinall. On November 11th at UFC 295 in New York, Jon Jones, who currently holds the UFC heavyweight title, was supposed to defend his title against Stipe Miocic. However, 2 weeks before the event, the champion had to pull out of the fight with a torn pectoral muscle. And Tom Aspinall entered the event, won the interim title by knocking out Russian Sergey Pavlovich in 69 seconds. Now, according to the UFC, Jones should fight Miocic after his recovery, and Aspinall will defend the interim belt against one of the other top fighters in the division.
Never let a bad employee beat you up and take everything from you twice. It'll leave you bitter for a really long time, evidently. He hangs on to the negative thing. Even if he won both fights, it doesn't change what happened with the fight with Dan Henderson. It doesn't change the stuff that happened at UFC 200. It doesn't change all those reasons why Dana went off. It's that simple. I don't think for a second that Jones is actually taking the time to listen to what I'm saying, because why would he? I also said that while he did all those things, the UFC couldn't afford to get rid of him because he's too valuable. He's too important. Where was the response to that? There's probably a ton of guys that I fought over the course of my career that did steroids. I just didn't beat him. I couldn't beat him. Regardless of what he was doing, I couldn't beat him. That's my reality, and I'm okay with that. So there's no bitterness. I'm paid to do a job. But at the end of the day, it does not change that in those moments, he was a bad employee.
That is all for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because it is very important to us. And thank you all in advance.